you would be able to get back in with just the keypad. And or if you had your phone with you, there's an app on the phone to be able to get in. But I have a couple of cameras. I have one camera that's in my living room that just basically covers the front door, the kitchen area, mainly where we are hanging out because they come to my home. And then also in the front yard, which is just watching my front driveway, things like that.
Yes.
You could have more cameras. You don't have to have any cameras inside your house. It could just be securing your border. But what I also like is that the doors have little sensors, like when the front door opens, it tells me front door open, kitchen door open, slider, right here is open, things like that. So it helps it kind of give you an extra set of ears.
Hello, and welcome to Forever Home for our kids with disabilities. I'm Valerie, mom to two with disabilities, one visible, one invisible. I'm a life coach and an author. This space has been created to help you navigate the journey of creating a secure, sustainable forever home for your child. We'll chat with parents on this path, realtors, financial planners, and other experts who can make the process easier. Why am I so passionate about this? Because seeing my eldest thrive living independent of us was a gift I didn't always know I could give. I want you to have the opportunity to explore giving that gift to your child. Welcome to our episode today. I am so thrilled to introduce you to Katie Hall. Katie is a wife, a mum, a Gigi, and the founder of Secure Your Hive, which is a mission-centered business dedicated to helping families build financial stability and peace. She mentors special needs teens and young adults, a role that has shaped her compassion and deep understanding of challenges many families face. Professionally, Katie helps families save 30 to 50% on healthcare. You need to listen in, people. She also supports households in lowering everyday costs on essentials like mobile service, identity protection, and home security. Katie is passionate about empowering parents, especially caregivers, with flexible home-based income options that fit around their family's needs. At her core, Katie believes every family deserves a safe, supported, and secure hive, and she is devoted to helping people create exactly that. So, Katie, please share with us how you began in the role of mentoring young adults and teens with differing abilities.
Oh, thank you so much for asking. And thank you for having me on the show. I really hope to be a blessing to everybody here today. And so it wasn't something that I was really looking forward to do. I had been caretaking for my sister a little bit when she had become very sick. And then she ended up graduating, I say graduating to heaven. And I was working from my home, and I knew that I wanted to get out to be able to give to others and get out of my home. So I would go and help. So my friend posted on Facebook that she needed help with her kids to be able to come in the afternoon when they got dropped off from the bus. Both of them have challenges, and that I would be there to be able to receive them when they come home. So this was when most people worked out of the home. Now we've kind of changed that role a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And at first she didn't answer me. And so I persisted and I thought I could do this. I have my two kids, they're raised, and I only knew a very little about special needs children, but I thought I'd help my kids and I'm willing to learn and I love people. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like how I got started. The young boy at the time, so there were two. The young boy was 17, almost 6 years ago. So 6 years next month, December. So he was 17 around there, and she was 12, getting ready to turn 13 in my first day. And I would stay at the home, and now I have access to be able to take them out and about in the community and
Right.
love on them wherever I'd like to with parents' permission. So I'm there, and the young girl asked me, she goes, "Are you the new babysitter?" And I said, "No, I am not the new babysitter because there are no babies here." And I don't know how I came up with that instinctively that I wanted to immediately give these young people dignity and to know that they are young adults. And I realized over this time, going fast forwarding, how they're treated in the community as if they're less than, or they group them
Mhm.
all together because they can't be on their own or things like that. And then fast forward a couple years after that, the young lady who was a few years older now, she wrote a paper about her hero and she picked me.
Oh,
And she
wow.
recalled that story. And that just ministered to me so much that you don't think that you're really helping someone along the way. Because believe me, they're changing my life. People say, hey, you're changing those kids' lives. Something. No, they're changing mine.
Hmm.
But I just love the fact that she remembered that. And I've just been able to minister to them. We minister to each other. It's really a beautiful relationship.
Oh, I love that. What a gorgeous story. And the fact that this young lady remembered that and it meant so much to her that she was able to share it with others and share it with you too. So that's amazing. Love it. All right. So you've shared a little bit about how mentoring has shaped you as a person, but how has it shaped your business?
Well, that's a great question. So, the young kids that I get to be able to participate with, they're young adults now. One's
Yeah.
18, almost 19, and the young man just turned 23. But I think it's because of the mom. I've been able to work with her in different ways to be able to spread the word and to be able to support her and
Yes.
be on mission and to be able to let people in my business know that not only am I life and health license, which I don't think I put that in the intro, but I am life and health license in the state of California, that I'm also a mentor for special need teens. And I deliberately picked that word mentor just to elevate the fact that, yes, technically in the law, I'm an aide, but I don't want them to think that I'm an aide. But I think I've incorporated it that way to be able to be of support to the mom and be invited to other organizations to be able to come alongside the mom. So that's how I've kind of incorporated in my business. And she will let other people know that I provide services that can help all families, including those that have special needs children or people in their life that I can help.
Yeah. Love that. I love how you've been able to take your mission, your ministry, and be able to create a work out of it that is blessing so many people. It takes me back to my oldest is 23, and when she was very young, we were looking for an aide, quote unquote, to come and be with her and just help her with the physiotherapy program, the speech language pathology program, the OT program. And this was a lady that had worked with typical children in a preschool environment. And so she was kind of looking to get out of that. She is a Christian also, and she was not really wanting to deal with some of the things that go along with pagan holidays and that kind of stuff that are being celebrated. So she wanted to sort of, move out of that realm. And so I invited her to come and work with my daughter, my oldest one, and who is total care and uses a G tube and nonverbal using a communication device and is wheelchair bound. She was frightened to death because she had not dealt with children like this. I don't know if you experienced the same thing, but she was frightened to death. Melody Ann, my oldest, is all encompassing, and I can appreciate that when you look at her, it's like, where do I start? But it was lovely to watch them build a beautiful relationship. And then our caregiver actually went on to then go and work with other children with special needs when Melody Ann got too heavy for her. And so it's just been lovely. So her latter years of working were all with children with differing abilities, children with special needs. So it was just lovely. And that was one of those Holy Ghost moments where I felt impressed to go and ask her. We were at church actually, and she had to think about it. She had to talk to her husband about it. But it was one of those, I'm just being obedient, Lord. I'm just being obedient.
I love that. I love that so much. And I mean, your question that you just asked me, like, how am I incorporating this with others? Well, again, of course, there's the savings that I can offer them just
Hmm.
off the bat. If somebody wanted to learn what I do, I could teach and train them, and we have a whole platform and training program that can show them what I do if they need to be able to work from home, if they want options. I mean, the first thing that popped into my mind when we first started having this conversation was, long term, when somebody is wheelchair bound. I mean, they need to be provided for their whole life. And then there's others in that arena that need that. What are the parents doing to be able to set that up? I know they work with lawyers and estates and things like that, but wouldn't it be nice if you could create something part time? Because I know that your life is extremely busy, but
Yeah.
part time to be able to earn something over the years that could potentially be a nice residual income that you could leave as a legacy in your trust to be able to pay for your child's or the person that you're caring for. So that's another reason. I wasn't even thinking about business like that. I was thinking about the other thing of how I support that mom. I just love her to death. We've become really good friends. So I
Hmm.
hope that's helpful.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about this creating a legacy. What kind of work are you encouraging moms or dads to do just to help create that legacy?
Right. So, what I do is I help people with different essential services. And you kind of said that a little bit in the beginning with healthcare,
Hmm.
mobile phone services, identity theft protection. You can have home security, business automation, things like that, which by the way is one of the things that I did get was the security system I did not have. I actually signed up for that because I bring them to my home now just so I have an extra set of eyes, camera, and then of course it monitors my door. If it ever gets opened, it does speak to
Hmm.
me and things like that. But there's just a plethora of different things, and that's more on the residential side. I also offer business services like ADP. If somebody was a parent that had connections with businesses, to be able to help them if they're using ADP, which is a payroll system, we could save them up to like 40%, things like that, business phone services. So I provide services, but we also provide the teaching and the training on how to do what we do
Hmm.
and just handhold them along the way. They're in business for themselves, but never by themselves.
Neat. Love that. So it's almost like you're teaching them to become entrepreneurs and be able to
Yes.
sort of manage a business and income so that they can leave something for their child. That's great. That's
Right.
great.
And since their services, they're ongoing. So I
Hmm.
know all of us basically have a mobile phone. And
Yes.
so we just keep paying the service. You might have paid off your device you use. You could have paid off your device, but the service you pay for on an ongoing basis. So we'll get a little bit of the service, a percentage of the service, and then that becomes a residual income because I offered to somebody just having a conversation. Maybe somebody makes a remark, hey, my phone bill's really high. Or if I'm at a women's networking group and I bring it up, or in a conversation, hey, I happen to be expanding my business. How much are you paying for your cell phone? Is it killing you right now? Are you dying? I have something that might be able to help. So I just kind of bring it up that way. So if you can imagine getting a little bit off of each bill. So the thought is to have a lot of people doing a little, and then that
Hmm.
grows from there.
Neat. Love it. So how long have you been doing this?
Just 2.5 years, but I love it and I'm super grateful for it because I think I was drawn in because it was a service. I know
Hmm.
there's lots of other businesses that people have out there that are, more home-based business types that have to do with more of the products. But I love that this was a service. Like let's say my gas bill for to heat my home. I've paid that. I've lived in my home for a long time and I've paid it every single month for a lot of years and no questions asked. I'm going to heat my home. I'm going to use it for my cooktop, stove, my water heater, my dryer, etc. And that's just one of them. And I know that's a smaller one, but we can also offer electricity and every single month you pay your healthcare bill.
Mm.
So that bill could get paid. Every single month I do my cell phone. I mean, think about the possibilities of how that works.
Hmm.
We're getting ready to open up into the banking, which is going to be very huge for us. And that's going to be, we don't have a date yet. They told us at the beginning of the year. So I'm assuming somewhere around the first quarter, maybe March, only because the group of us that get together, we're going to have a big meeting, a big
Hmm.
conference. So I'm
Hmm.
assuming they're going to roll it out then. But imagine everything that you do with banking, deposits, credit card, payments, loans, car loans, etc. You'll be able to get a little bit of that. And if you have hundreds, if not thousands of customers, a little bit adds up to be a lot. And so you can have that residual check. And as obviously, as long as somebody keeps the service, right, you're going to get paid on that. So it could add up to a lot and it's willable.
Oh,
So
okay.
you could put in your trust and it's willable.
Neat. Neat. Wow. So you're opening up many possibilities and opportunities for those parents that are not able to get out and do a regular job, i.e., 9 to 5, working for someone else. But this is an opportunity for them to be able to create another income stream into their home. And I love the fact that it's willable. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing about that.
Thank you.
All right. So, Katie, thanks so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. And I think you're going to make a lot of people very curious. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions for you. So, can you tell us? I'm just thinking about Forever Homes here. And you mentioned about home security and that you've got some in your home now because you're bringing the young adults into your home. So, tell us about how we should be securing our homes and the Forever Homes for our children.
Oh, thank you for asking. Yes. So the security that I'm talking about happens to be with the company Vivint Home Security. They also do businesses. So it's everything from cameras, and you can automate your home as well.
Oh,
So I know there's been times where, let's say I went ahead and I got the door lock, and it also you can use a key and you have a keypad. Could
mhm,
you imagine though that have you ever had the situation where you've walked out the home, you knew everything was fine, but your person that has challenges chose to lock you out just because they maybe thought it was funny or something like that? You would be able to get back in with just the keypad, and or if you had your phone with you, there's an app on the phone to be able to get in. But I have a couple of cameras. I have one camera that's in my living room that just basically covers the front door, the kitchen area, mainly where we are hanging out because they come
mhm.
to my home. And then also in the front yard, which is just watching my front driveway, things like that.
Yes.
You could have more cameras. You don't have to have any cameras inside your house. It could just be securing your border. But what I
Mhm,
also like is that the doors have little sensors, like when the front door opens, it tells me front door open, kitchen
mhm,
door open, slider, right here is open, things like that. So it helps it kind of give you an extra set of ears
mhm,
and security that way. So I love that as the security part. You could also turn it into a smart home, like I did with my locks. You could also do lamps and things like that. You can do your heater.
oh,
Mine, I have access on my phone or on the wall. It's like a panel. It looks like a
mhm.
little teeny tiny computer panel, like a tablet size. And so I can turn up and down my heat. I can secure my house. I can lock it. I can arm it. Arm it means set the alarm. So when I leave, I can set the alarm. I can also set it to while I'm at home. And if somebody was to leave and I needed that extra protection, it would go off again if somebody was trying to leave the home.
Mm,
And I know the girl that I work with, she used to be that way. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I never had an incident with her, but her mom and dad did, where she
mhm.
actually left the home. And it would be helpful to be able to
Yes.
know if they breached the home and they left because they're not wandering in the street, something like that.
Hmm. And sometimes too, when they're leaving the home, they're not necessarily dressed appropriately, depending on the time of year. And right now we have snow where I am, and so if
Mhm.
someone was to take flight from my home, if they weren't suitably dressed, it would not look pretty, that's for sure.
Right.
All right. So you've mentioned some of the options that are available for our audience when it comes to an extra income stream. Was there anything that we missed?
I don't think so. I mean, without going into a really long explanation, I mean, I'm happy to have conversations with people if they want to know a little bit more about it. I'm happy to do that. Or if they want to know about the services, I can help them with that. Or if they just are curious, I'm just happy to speak with folks. I think, especially in this community, since my heart has always been open, but it's exceptionally open now because I can see it from a different perspective. And I really truly believe that I believe it's a gift that I can communicate, especially with like teenagers, and to be able to I truly mentor them.
Hmm.
And I'm so grateful to be able to have that opportunity to mentor them and to be able to talk with them. And I am a trusted confidant to them. Obviously, big things, of course, I would tell their parents, but when they want to come and they just want to ask me something, because they're very high functioning, but they still have their challenges. And there's times where it's like, that's a red flag. I let
Hmm.
them know if they talk about a certain subject that absolutely 100%, if you tell me, I'm telling your parents because that's a security risk and
Yes.
their parents need to know. But otherwise, whatever happens at Miss Katie's house stays at Miss Katie's house. But I don't think I missed anything really like with the business. If they want to know more about it, I mean, I'm here to serve however they would like me to help serve you and your community. Even if somebody just says, "Hey, how do you do a certain thing?" I'm happy to talk with them. I seem to be better with teenagers and young adults than I do with littles, but I
Mhm.
love littles. But I think I've just been the way God wired me is that I just remember my own experience as a young person and as a teenager. I mean, think about they still have challenges when they go to school to have or work. The young boy is working now. I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
They still have interpersonal relationship challenges and to be able to go and I've learned to listen to them. I used to just answer their questions like right away, like, oh, I would just coach them right away, like do this, do that. And now I've
Mhm.
learned to take a step back a little bit
Yes.
and say, what do you think about that? This is going on. How would you like to handle that? And or I'll ask them the question, can I speak to that? Because I've had a similar experience in my life. Would you like to have some thoughts about that? So I think I've been gifted to be able to do that. Now, do I do it perfectly? Of course
Yes.
not. I'm human. None of us do it perfectly, but I do it authentically and honestly.
Yes. And I think the fact that they've built trust with you over the years, that it just makes it, it's just, you've just opened up that avenue for communication. And the fact that they have been able to share with you and know that they can trust you gives them the opportunity to continue sharing. So that's amazing. And I love the fact that you have stopped that coaching, i.e., answering questions right away and just giving them an opportunity to problem solve themselves because I feel high functioning and even some of our not so high functioning kids can still problem solve if we give them the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely. I can tell you the kids know this one rule in my household. There's a couple, but this is the main rule. If you were to ask them, what is the one rule that Miss Katie has? At my home, because they come to my home and I serve them, everybody has a voice. You can say anything you'd like to, obviously within boundaries, right? I mean, it can go wacky, but everybody, you get to speak your mind. You have one rule. You have to speak respectfully, whether it's to each other, because I have a brother and sister that I care for, or they're speaking to me.
Mhm.
Or when my husband is home part of the time because he works and then he comes home in the evening if we have dinner together. But
Yeah.
everybody has to answer each other respectfully.
Yes. Love it. Love it. So, Miss Katie, where can our audience go to find out more about you?
Oh, okay. Secureyourhive.biz, .biz, B-I-Z, and have them feel free to go ahead and text me at this number. I'm in the United States, so it's 1-949-228-7443.
Thank you.
If they text me, if they let me know where they've gotten my number from this show, with Valerie and Forever Home, I'll be happy to reply. Just give me your name and then we'll reply. And then we can decide if it's a phone conversation or a Zoom or something if they'd like to know.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So, Katie, before we conclude our conversation today, I'd love for you to share some words of encouragement for our parents who are raising children with disabilities. What message would you like to share with them to offer inspiration and hope?
Slow down a little bit. Do some self care for the parents. I think I see that for myself and I see it with the one mom that I have. I just care for the one family that has two children.
Hmm.
And I love that. But to make sure that you're doing self care for yourself and to take that break.
Yeah.
And I would say grace. Give yourself grace, give your kids grace.
Hmm.
And if you have a partner in life, give your partner grace. I would say grace.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Katie. Katie, it's been fabulous having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So just continue doing the great work that you're doing, and you're obviously making a huge difference in many lives. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Valerie.
You're so welcome. So, audience, I want you to remember to live with intention and embrace the journey. Thanks for joining me today on Forever Home for our kids with disabilities. I hope today's episode gave you something new to think about and it increased your confidence on your journey. If you found this episode helpful, do tell others about it. Use the text feature to let me know your questions. Tell me what you want to know. Until next time, take care and keep building your child's future.